To the uninitiated, water flowing down a rapid may look like a chaotic mix of white and green, but if you know what to look for, water behaves in a very predictable manner. There are three variables that make rivers dangerous. The first is flow, which is the amount of water you are dealing with. Do your area rivers typically have a large flow or a small flow? The flow is measured in CFS, or cubic feet per second. This is done by multiplying a river's average width, depth, and speed. Flow can significantly change the character of a rapid and should not be taken lightly. What was a Class 3 rapid can become Class 4 or 5 at higher levels. The second variable is gradient, or how much elevation a river drops over distance. A waterfall would be considered a high gradient situation, while a peaceful stream would be considered a low gradient affair. The last variable is obstacles. Obstacles are the things that water flows into, over, around, and through. These include rocks, logs, debris, and bridge pilings. Weather can affect an ongoing rescue by increasing the flow of water in the river. Continually check water levels and projected forecasts so you don't get caught off guard. The USGS's Water Level Information page and NOAA's weather site are great resources on the internet. On that side of the river, she's in the arms of another man. Eddies are created when water flows around any obstacle. An eddy is a place to rest where the current is neutral or flowing upstream. But not all eddies are safe. For example, some eddies recirculate into holes and some feed into strainers. Standing waves are caused by constrictions or obstacles in the river. Water cannot be compressed, so it gets pushed up, causing a standing wave. Standing waves look similar to a gentle wave on the ocean. Like the ocean, when waves reach a certain size, they start to break and topple over. These are called breaking waves. Large breaking waves can take on the appearance of a hole. This kind of feature can stop or flip a raft, but seldom will keep a swimmer. A pour-over hole is created by water flowing over the top of an object. When water falls behind the object, it creates a depression, which is filled in by water flowing upstream. This upstream current and depression can hold a swimmer or boat indefinitely. A visual inspection of the hole will determine how it behaves. There are two factors that determine the holding power of a hole: the height of the vertical drop and the distance from the face to the boil line. Typically, the greater these distances, the less likely you will be flushed out the back of the hole. You will need to go out one of the corners. The corners of the hole reveal the ease with which you can escape. If the corner of the hole is facing downstream, then it is an open corner. It will be easier to escape or get flushed out the open side. If the corner is facing upstream, then it is called a closed corner. Closed corners are often raised up in relation to the backwash, making it more difficult to escape. A man-made pour-over with closed corners is called a low-head dam. These structures have the reputation of being drowning machines. The water flows over the lip of the dam, then goes to the bottom and is forced back up to the surface, creating a boil. The boil line on a low-head dam is symmetrical and easy to see. The boil has upstream and downstream flows. The upstream flow feeds the pour-over and forms the recirculation. These features should be pre-planned and trained on for successful rescues. Undercuts are extremely dangerous river features. Undercuts tend to be found in older river drainages where years and years have shaved rocks away beneath the waterline. There can be debris in these undercuts that let water through, but not the unwary swimmer. Undercuts should be aggressively avoided by swimmers. An undercut rock is missing the cushion of water that is normally present on the upstream side of rocks. Strainers are any obstruction that allows water to pass through it, but not a swimmer. Strainers have killed many people. Sometimes they are easily seen, but they can also be under the surface of the water. Many strainers are caused by trees falling into the river or high water bringing debris down the river. Another type of strainer is called a rock sieve. Rock sieves are where water flows through gaps in a pile of rocks. These gaps may or may not be big enough to allow a swimmer to pass. There is an international rating system for whitewater. The ratings run from Class 1 through Class 6. It used to be that Class 6 was considered unrunnable, but this definition has changed. Class 1 is moving water with riffles and small waves. There are few or no obstructions. Class 2 water contains easy rapids with waves up to 3 feet high and wide, clear channels that are obvious without scouting. Some maneuvering is required. Class 3 water contains rapids with high, irregular waves, often capable of swamping an open canoe. These rapids may contain narrow passages that often require complex maneuvering and may require scouting from shore. Class 4 water contains long, difficult rapids with constricted passages that often require precise maneuvering in very turbulent waters. Scouting from shore is necessary, and conditions may make rescue difficult. Class 5 water contains extremely difficult, long and very violent rapids with highly congested routes which should always be scouted from shore. Rescue conditions are difficult, and there is significant hazard to life in the event of a mishap. Class 6 water contains difficulties carried to the extreme of navigability. Rescues can be nearly impossible and very dangerous. For teams of experts only after close study has been made and all precautions have been taken.
Now that we have learned to identify some of the characteristics and hazards of the river, we can now use this knowledge to determine the danger and the risk involved in a rescue situation. This will help us do our initial size up in a rescue scenario. With our initial size up, we can use the International Rating Scale to help us put a number to the degree of difficulty in a rescue situation.